this sort of extended Romeo and Juliet going on between Patricia and all the males in the cast.
The other thing about Patricia is that her family is super interesting and crazy, and like they grew up in a commune. They had like this very free, open lifestyle. I remember, I hope I'm not talking out of school, but she told me one time, I mean, I came from Oklahoma, like I had a cow as a pet. Okay, so, and I come to Los Angeles, and I can't express enough how every person I met was like such a new type of person for me to meet. And my town was very, just kind of regular in every way, except for the really fundamentalist Christians. And there was one group that I kind of looked at and studied with that, like, wow, they're interesting. But Patricia was like a social studies project. I'm like, okay, so what was it like on the commune? And was everybody naked? What happened? Did you eat together? Like, how did people get their food? It was like talking to somebody from a different tribe. And then I said, so how was high school for you? And she'd say, well, I wasn't really that into school, and sometimes for fun, me and my friend would go to Hollywood Boulevard and beg. What? Like, it was just, they had this whole different way of being, and the way it translated into Patricia is that she's just so unique as an actor, because she just doesn't care like what you say, she's so beautiful, but that's not what she would even think about ever. And she would only think about like the most raw part of what she had to say or do. And I remember the director getting hugely frustrated because I think he was expecting like happy, let's act happy here, let's act scared here, let's act, I don't know, frustrated or crazy.
And she was legitimately exploring depression.
She was, just being it. And I think that was one of the biggest things I learned is I wanted to please the director, but I watched Patricia not give a shit about that. And she just gave
and she was the kid on the set, yeah.
She was just the most incredible performer innately, because she knew the truth of the moment that she had to bring out. And I didn't have any of those skills yet, so when she is cradling me when I'm dying, I mean, she left the set, she told the director, who's like looking at his watch, excuse me, but I have to be alone for about 30 minutes, I'll be right back. So we're all just kind of like, waiting. And she's off on her own, getting to that spot that she needed to get to. And then she came back and she gave that incredible performance. And I think the director was just, okay, I'm wrong, you're right. I should have not hassled you this whole time. She just, and now, you see what she's capable of doing every week on a show like that. She's incredible.
Brooke, did you, and because she was your daughter, did you guys have some work together that you did, to prep for that?
We would go into, I can't remember, I guess it was like her trailer, and we would just throw around ideas and try things and improvise and just examine things. But she was really a catalyst for coming up with stuff that hadn't occurred to me whatsoever. She would say something, I'd go, whoa, where did that come from? I mean, it was just, she was such an interesting young actress.
She did a John Borman movie, and for those of you that, have Netflix or you see it on cable, I think it's called Beyond Rangoon. You just watch her work in that. She carries the entire film. And she's on location, and it's more macho than a Wim Wenders film, you guys. I mean, it's Patricia Arquette in mud and leeches for 2.5 hours, with John Borman, and it's an amazing, amazing film. And I highly recommend it.
Lost Highway.
And Lost Highway, yeah. But we all know about that. I mean, Beyond Rangoon is a very expensive, big-budget film that somehow fell through the cracks. And it's a tremendous piece of survival work.
Well, she was also great in Holes. I don't know if I love that movie, Holes. And she plays this glamorous kind of person that she doesn't usually play, and she was so sexy and great in that part too.
And has anyone mentioned the fact that Larry Fishburne was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3?
Yeah, what a great, and he didn't have the greatest part either, but look up and
and I was like, wait, the guy from Apocalypse Now is going to be in this movie?
He was 16 when he did Apocalypse Now.
15.
15, yeah.
Well, he had just been the cowboy on